How do you write a funny speech? That's what we're talking about in this video. Hi, I'm Rick, creator of A Funnier You. And common question is, how do I write a funny speech? So let's take a look at what is funny first. What is funny? Well, on this channel, you know I talk a lot about surprise. But there's another trigger of human laughter, and that is superiority. It's wrapped up in this quote. If I get a paper cut, it's a tragedy. If you fall into a manhole and die, it's comedy. Right? So people laugh when they feel superior. They laugh at the misfortune of others. It's just a fundamental piece of who we are as humans. So how do we leverage this? Well, that's funny. So superiority and surprise are what we're going to focus on to write a funny speech. Picking a topic, top of the list. Pick a topic where you metaphorically, you, the speaker, metaphorically fell into a manhole and died. For example, I wrote my award-winning humorous speech is titled, "The Day I Rode My Bicycle 100 Miles by Mistake." And just that title, I get my first laugh before taking the stage. This is the story of my wife and I and a friend, John. We went to a bicycle ride called the Hotter Than Hell 100 with no intention of riding 100 miles. John was supposed to guide us, and he made a mistake. We missed the turn, and we ended up having to ride 100 miles that day. Now, the audience loves this because, well, you can tell I'm a big guy, and I relay humorous vignettes of the journey that day, and they get to laugh at my expense, right? So it's a beautiful topic. Now, how do you find these topics? One, you have to start looking at your life. You have to be observant, and I'm working on a video right now, finalizing my thoughts on observational humor and how I can make that accessible to you as well. All right, sorry about the sidetrack there. Your stories, your daily events, things have happened to you. Now, at the time, you weren't laughing because to you they were paper cuts, but transforming that into a story. So writing your speech, what's funny, superiority, the topic, the time you fell into a manhole and nearly died. Well, maybe literally died. No, that's not possible. A story of your misfortune. And I say story because that is an ideal structure on how you should format your speech. Humans are wired for story. We can't help but be drawn into a well-crafted narrative. Whenever I work with a speaker, they want me to help them add humor to a story. Sometimes we have to back up and go, wait, first you have to tell a story. The way you're telling it, it's like it's a story, but it's a bit of a bedtime story, so let's work on structure. The fundamental pieces of story you need to understand is there needs to be a goal, and there's going to be obstacles. There has to be obstacles. That conflict is what helps bring out the emotion. That conflict is what helps your audience feel superior and helps generate the laughs. And then you raise the stakes. Maybe you've seen or heard of the I Love Lucy Chocolate Factory episode. If you haven't seen that, do a quick Google. This episode is, I think, season 2, episode 1, called Job Switching. And it's a masterclass in storytelling, and in particular comedic storytelling, because Lucy has to win at all costs, right? So the intent, the goal is Lucy wants to prove Ricky wrong. They switch jobs. She goes and earns the money. He stays home, takes care of the house. And it culminates into the point where the iconic scene of Lucy and Ethel stuffing chocolates into their hats, into their malls, into their shirts, in order to be right at all costs and to win. So story structure, intent, you need to have a goal. You need to have obstacles, and you need to raise the stakes. What is the consequence? What are the consequences of failing? All right, recap. The topic, what's funny? Your misfortune. There is the secret sauce of getting your audience to laugh. Your misfortune. Can you laugh at yourself? You should be able to. So you bring that onto stage and you tell that in story format. You have obstacles, you have a goal, and you raise the stakes. What are the consequences for failure? And as you wrap that up together, you have the fundamental ingredients to a funnier speech. And if you do that, I can't wait to see you become a funnier you. See you again.